me crazy. Never got your name, but you got me begging. All I know about you like to pick and choose, make it all about you. Go take it all if you want. Taking the chance, stuck in my head, not gonna leave it at that. Taking the lead, feeling your heat, just wanna give you my best. I don't even know your name, but you got me, 'cause you're all to die. We don't know what happens next, but you got me, 'cause I'm next in line. You make it look so easy, making me feel so dreamy. Not the one who pays for drinks, but you got me, 'cause you're all to die. Got me locked in now. Go ahead and take a shot. Do you really want me? Maybe you're just playing. The way you're making it move, yeah, you do it so smooth. Make it all about you. Can have it all if you want. Taking the chance, stuck in my head, not gonna leave it at that. Taking the lead, feeling your heat, just wanna give you my best. Taking the chance, stuck in my head, not gonna leave it at that. No, yeah. He doesn't mind at all. He want my juice like that. He does whatever what he feels for nobody but himself. No, yeah. So I pull myself together to not give myself the pressure. Eyes when he's staring into mine, know he's bad for me. So what's standing in our way? And he's out of my league, I feel insecure, but I hope this is real, yeah. He doesn't mind at all, he want my juice like that. He does whatever what he feels for nobody but himself, no, yeah. Juice like that. He does whatever what he feels for nobody but himself, no, yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to the 5 F's to Love. I'm going to tell you guys, every night I get more and more excited because I'm always with a different cast. Tonight, you guys know it is the guys, Real Talk with the Guys. But listen, tonight's conversation, I don't know how you guys might feel about it. But one thing I know for sure is that I want to talk to my men right now. It's so important that you guys go out between the ages of 40 and I'm going to say 55. Be sure to get your prostate checked. A really good friend of mine this week who I've known for 15 years, he's not even 46 years old. He has prostate cancer. And he called me on the phone and he said, you got to get the word out and I know you can do this. So I'm going to say this. This is for you guys. When we get back, we're going to start our real conversation with the men. Before then, men come first. I want to make sure you guys go get your checkup. So check this out.
We know what you made of. I do better offline, yeah. I've been calling to a guy. I'm in tune with the signs. I'm just trying to let go. I'm just trying to be me. I'm just trying to do yeah. Moon landed with the elevation. Arm strong with the levitation. My third eye needed calibration. That was heat rock when I notated. I've been going crazy. Stone face when I kill beat, leaving no trace on location. Premeditated.
Hey guys, welcome back. That message is vitally important. If you know someone who is between the ages of 40 and 55 or 60, please ask them to go get their prostate check. It is so important because we love our Black men. All right, let's get talking tonight. Listen, you know it would not be a conversation without our voice of reason. Hey, Galen.
Hey there, Christine. How you doing?
I feel like we keep seeing each other back to back. I don't even know what this is about.
Yeah.
I just want to say yesterday's conversation is still permeating. And I went and watched your Success Mind, and I sent it over to a couple of people. I also put it in a posting, and I'm going to say it's really rock star. So if you haven't watched Galen's episode yesterday. You really need to watch it. It's really going to be impactful in helping you identify, what do you want when you're dating? What are you truly looking for? Do you even know? And if you don't know, watch that podcast. It's going to help you. So I know you guys are wondering what happened to what I call Brian. Brian is what I call the guy that every woman wants to marry. He is absolutely adorable. All the women love him. Brian, I don't know. I didn't even want to tell people you've been out fishing, but that's the truth.
That's right. I love fishing. Relaxing.
He isn't out fishing,
You don't catch
everybody.
nothing.
Which
You
I
don't
absolutely
catch
love.
nothing.
He
You're
cracks
relaxing.
me up. He's like, I've been out fishing, Chris. So that's legitimate. Matt, all I gotta say is, where's Carmen San Diego? Matt, you're always all over the world. I don't even know, because I feel like every day you're somewhere. I want to say, where is Matt? Right?
So, listen, Christine, today Matt is in Florida, so I'll be here at least for the next couple hours, and then Tampa, then Tallahassee. Listen.
See what I mean? Like, Matt, you're always on the road. But what I do love about it is that whenever I check out your social media, you're always on point, and you always support a lot of African Americans and what they're doing. So that's what I love about what you do when I say, where's Matt? Now, I know you guys are probably wondering who this handsome guy is and where did Warwick come from? Well, let me tell you guys this. Warwick is a comedian. So all I got to say is, if you guys thought Cedric was saying something, you better watch out, because I think Warwick might be bringing the business to us tonight. And I'm really excited. So Warwick, this is your first time on Real Talk with Men. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm excited. Always from Atlanta. Let's get into it.
All right. Listen, so if you didn't see our promo, one of the things that women are famous for asking, and they always want to know, is when you hear someone say, why buy the cow if you can get the milk for free? What does that mean to you as a man? When someone says that to a woman, what are you doing giving him the milk for free? He's not gonna stay with you, right? All right. So Matt, of course, I'm starting with you because I know you got a whole spin on that. So what's your thoughts when a woman says that?
Yeah. So this is my thought, right? When there's no reason why any woman should give the milk away for free. And let's just be clear, what is the milk? Because this is an adult grown conversation, okay?
Oh, Matt, come on, Matt, that's the next question. Matt, that's the next question. What truly is the milk?
What truly is the milk?
But that's not the question right now.
Yeah, but so the answer to that is, I don't think no woman should give away the milk for free. There is no reason in 2022 to do that, and it's not going to get you nothing. On the same token, you better be able to demonstrate, if you're not the milk, that you got some cheese, some yogurt, something about you that he wants to work. So he wants to. We'll leave it at. I'll turn over to the other guys.
Okay, so Brian, the ladies want to hear from you. I don't feel like you're gonna say the sweetheart thing, though. I'm afraid. What are you about to say, Brian?
I said better bring more than milk. Better have a full meal. I want more than milk.
You want more than the milk? Okay.
I want more than milk.
All right, just to let y'all know, Brian is one of them Southern boys, so he's expecting more than some milk. So Warwick, what about you?
Yeah, if I buy the cow, I want everything to come with it. Don't hold back. I want everything to come with it. Absolutely.
All right, we're going to talk about what those things are in a few minutes, because I think a lot of times when you hear women or people say that, they don't understand it is not just what women think it is. It's bigger than that. So, Galen, of course, you're the voice of reason. So when you hear that,
I think the real question is, obviously, what do you mean when you say that? I think that's the first thing, because one of the things that happen with language often is people say the same thing and they mean different things.
Exactly.
And I think people need to get clear about what it is that you mean when you say that, because obviously I'm sure we're going to get to the next question. You said that's what is the milk is the next question, because I think the clarity around that, because most of the time men would interpret that conversation to mean that they're not going to do all of these things unless you are fully committed. Some people take that to mean they're not going to have sex unless they're married. Some people have different interpretations of what that means. So I think people need to be really clear and understand what it is that you're saying, because I believe that, assumption is the mother of all mess ups.
Yeah. Okay, so with that being said, I want to say this as from a woman's perspective. When I heard like my mother say that to me, I took it as sex. That if I sleep with this guy, he's totally not, that doesn't mean that he's going to hang around. That means he's going to move on to the next woman. So I think that's imprinted on every woman's mind. But the question is, and to be, this is my personal question. Is it true when a man gets the milk, the chase is over? And that man moves on.
Okay. So are we defining milk as sex? I just want to be clear.
Well, the thing is, we're going to talk about that later on.
Okay.
It's coming up.
The whole milk.
Because I want to be clear. So so let me ask you a question. I don't have a problem with asking something out of order, because here's the question. What qualifies as milk? Is it just sex, or is the milk viewed as a package of expectations? I can ask that question.
Christine, the milk is sex is just one. If there's different types of milk, let's say there's 5 different types of milk.
Okay.
That might be one type of milk. Maybe that's chocolate milk. But then there's buttermilk, which is then there's whole milk, which is, does she come over there and cook you meals? Then there's skim milk. Is she a friend? Some of these women are so much friend, they never gonna get out the friend zone. So there's all types of
1%, 2% milk. I was say better be skim milk, or 1% or 2%.
Okay, so then, all right. So Brian, do you see milk as just being one thing, or is it a package or collection of things?
It's a package and a collection of things. I mean, like Matt said, it's not just one thing. I mean, a lot of people would define. When I first heard that term, I think about milk, think about sex. But in the mature mindset, it's more than that. It's the whole kit and caboodle. It's everything. How she treats you, how she is with you. You both interacting with one another, doing things to one another. I'm not gonna be doing it all. We're gonna be doing it collectively together.
Okay, so the question is then, so for Galen, when couples come to you or women come to you for counseling and they're saying, hey, because I know a girlfriend of mine, she goes to her minister and says, I feel bad, I had sex with somebody. I don't think he's going to stay with me. I think women are qualifying milk as just being sex. But what do you think milk means?
I think it can mean 2 things. I think it can mean sex by itself. I also think it can also mean as what some women define as the wife experience instead of the girlfriend experience, as if they're 2 totally different things. So I think that depends on the individual. I think when I was growing up, that meant sex, point blank. I think it now is being reinterpreted in the context of people, more people dating, less people getting married, more people getting divorced, where that conversation has to change. So what I would say is it's both. It's just sex, and it can be viewed as a package of expectations depending on the person. And the reason why I say that is this. You can have people who are dating for a long time, and they don't necessarily move on to the next stage of commitment. And then that conversation of getting the cow, getting the milk, and whatever the cow phrase can come into play then. Okay, people have been dating for 20 years and they never even get to the fiance stage, could be viewed from that perspective. And I think that what this speaks to is something that is unsaid in the context of these questions. And the unsaid thing is this: a guy will ride on the understanding of how the relationship started, unless either he wants to change it or he is forced to look at it and make a decision around it. That's the real conversation. If a guy says, okay, we hooked up on a hookup thing, and now it's
Galen, you are so killing my next couple questions. Like right now, you're killing it. You're killing it right now. I'm gonna start getting on y'all about just answer these questions.
These questions are loaded. You ask loaded questions, you get loaded answers. But
I know they loaded.
That's my answer.
Okay, that's your answer. Okay, so Warwick, you're new. What I'm doing is I'm giving you a chance to hear them. because the next one I'm coming straight for you, but I'm letting you warm up because it's your
Okay.
first time on. So
Okay.
when you hear that, I mean, what are your thoughts? Is it just sex or is it a package?
It's for me, it's sex. You know, I think that you got to try it out first because the milk probably sour. And you like, you don't even want it no more after that. You know what I'm saying? You got to do it. You just got, you know, can't wait around with it. You just got to do it.
I just want to say you just came on and you're making me laugh. So I want to thank you so much for watching. She says, Judge Lynn Tyler always cautions women not to do wifely duties at girlfriend prices. What do you guys think about what Pippa said?
When I would like to respond to that.
Okay.
20 plus years ago, it was a female preacher. It was big in the ministerial world. And she had a series of lessons she called No More Sheets. And what's interesting to me about those lessons are they're normally married women telling single women what they should do, as if they always have the magic formula to get a man. It's easy to tell somebody, and I'm not saying what they should or shouldn't do. I'm saying it's easier to tell a person who is not hungry how they should act when they're hungry. So I just think that sometimes a level of cockiness comes out of people who portray themselves to be experts in a particular subject that we just have to be mindful. Because what does that mean? The girlfriend prices, that means, okay, you're dating somebody, and if two adults choose to make a decision around their bodies, and this is not me speaking from a Christian context, I'm just speaking as a human being right now, people making their decision to do what they choose to do as adults, they should have a right to do that without it being a judgment of you're doing wifely duties, or you made a meal for them, you're doing wifely duties, or you're taking care of this for them. Because the thing about it is, guys, as simple as we are, when you make life easier for us and we feel good with you and can experience stuff, you are winning. Now the question is, how do you leverage making us feel good and making life easier for us into the commitment that you desire? That's the real conversation.
Oh my God, Warwick, you sound like you got something to say.
Yeah, because I agree. Because I was talking to this girl for a long time, you know what I'm saying? And I just sat her down. I said, we got to have a talk. And she was like, what we got to talk about? I said, the conversation haven't came up, but I want to know when we're going to have sex. And she said, what you mean a long time? We only been talking for a day. I said, that's long enough for me. You just got to get back to it, you know?
I like him.
If we agree to do that, we can just go ahead and do it, you know?
That's good.
I'm sorry, everybody. I normally can hold my composure, you know.
Oh,
that's good. That's good right there.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after this commercial. You are crazy.
We know what you made of. I do better offline, yeah. I've been calling to a guy. I'm in tune with the signs. I'm just trying to let go. I'm just trying to be me. I'm just trying to do Moon landed with the elevation. Armstrong with the levitation. My third eye needed calibration. That was heat rock when I notated. I've been going crazy. Stone face when I kill beat. Leaving no trace on location. Premeditated. Ayy.
Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. I get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. Going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going up, going up.
And you'll never find a place in my arms. Hey, show me love, 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 show me love. If you feel a little lonely, I wanna spend some more time with you. Cause I'm anxious to know what you feel for me now. Just give me something I can't taste it. With your lips on mine, that you don't love me.
I'm back here singing all the time because I love the commercials. Hey, I just want to say tomorrow's podcast is Dr. Rachel Ray, where she'll be talking about why are you having sex? Like, what's the purpose? What you doing? Some people just doing it just to do it, and they're confusing everybody. So, guys, Matt will be right back with us in a few minutes. So, listen, Warwick, I just want to say I was done. Like, I didn't want to go to commercial break. I just want to do real talk. Like, that was hilarious. Basically, you was just 1 day in, and you was just like, "What's up?" That's a long time. But you know, I appreciate that because that is the mindset of some men. It's like, so, and that goes to one of my questions, and I'm totally going out of order because this is going with the flow of the conversation. I'm cool with it. So do you think waiting 60 to 90 days to give up the milk to the man guarantees a long-term relationship? Work, I think we know what your answer is. So I'm starting with you. Do you think it guarantees it?
I don't know if he can hear us.
Work, can you hear us?
I don't think he can hear us. Something because he keeps getting mute and unmute.
Okay, yeah. Check your audio for me. Matt, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. And what work? Yeah, he may have to sign off and sign back on. That's what I have to do sometimes. But listen, 60 to 90 doesn't guarantee that you'll get a commitment. But I can tell you what, it does guarantee a couple of things. One, I won't say a magic number, but it will guarantee that you won't make bad mistakes. You won't add to as he said, to the sheets. Waiting a period of time allows you to get to know somebody and know what their intentions are. That's if you have intentions. So everything that I talk about is intentionality. I think I mentioned it. What grown people choose to do with their bodies is up to them. But sex is an intimate act.
Mm-hmm.
You say it's sacred. You go, I don't believe in all that sacred stuff. Let me tell you something. You lay down with somebody, you're going to get up with a cold. If they got a cold, you're going to get up with it's an intimate act, no matter your faith, no matter what you think. So before you engage with intimate acts with another person, you need to have in your mind, what information do you need to know about that person before you decide to share your body and your bodily fluids with them? Because at some point you have to live with that decision.
It can be life altering.
Life changing.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
I agree with that. Go ahead, Galen.
No, from that perspective, I often tell people that everything we do is energy and vibration matching. It's consciousness, It's awareness, and it's not just bodily energies connecting, bodily fluids connecting. It's also energetically what is connecting you with an individual. And what I often just try to get people to understand is you can't control who you're attracted to, but you can control what you do. And so we have to just be more mindful about what we're doing with our bodies. I'm a big believer in people making choices as adults, and I'm also mindful that if people are not smart in how they engage who they are with other individuals, they can invite calamity.
Mm-hmm. I'm in 100% agreement. I'm just going to keep it real simple for you guys. My rule of thumb is I need at least 30 days on the books because any type of STD you have is going to flare up every 30 days. I just keep it real like that. So for me, and by the way, in my first life, I was a chemist. So I pay attention to your body. And what people don't understand is herpes works in a cycle. A 30-day cycle is called 28-day cycle. I give it 30. But that's what it does. It flares up every 28 to 29 days. It just does it in different ways. The other thing is, folks, once COVID hit and I realized that if a person breathes on you, you could die, then that changed the whole scope of dating for me. Because at that point, my life is not worth that type of interaction. So I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm not saying the 60 or 90-day rule. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that dating has changed because of COVID. Dating has changed because of herpes and HIV and all that other stuff. So you just need to keep it real. And just like Matt and Galen said, if this is what you want to do it, but do it with caution. If he got a cold, you're going to end up with a cold. I don't know what kind of cold that is. And people, I heard somebody tell me just yesterday, COVID, I took the risk. I know I'm a single mom, but I took the risk because I was so lonely. I wanted to be with somebody. And so I got tired of doing video calls with him. And I was like, I'm willing to take the risk. That's scary. That's scary to me.
Okay. So, you know, what I will say is when it comes to those type of things, if a person is that COVID scared, then they need to go get the shot and get themselves together and wrap their brains around the fact that life is not going to stop. Yes, you can still be cautious, but you know, I think the psychological effect of being in a pandemic has not yet been measured. And you know, I'm a big believer that people, whether they're having sex or not, we're meant to be social beings. We're meant to touch people, hug people. I'm just not talking about just at a sexual level. I'm talking about people in general. And what's happening now is this isolation psychology is going to have so many detrimental effects that were not even thought of beforehand. When they start doing these studies 10 years from now and see the after effects of it, it's going to be amazing, because somebody could be amazing and the opportunity is right in front of you, but somebody is afraid to go out of the house or address somebody or being around someone without a mask on, and they're perfectly healthy. They don't have any pre-existing conditions. They're young, they're strong, they're athletic. All the blood work is great, and they're afraid to even go on a dinner and sit across from somebody because they're afraid that somebody's going to breathe on them. That's psychologically, that's problematic.
So I think in the beginning, to me, it wasn't problematic because it was real. I knew people around me who were young and healthy and died from COVID. So to me, even a test did not convince me to leave my house. Now I go out all the time. It's not that big of a deal. But when it was first going down, oh yeah, I was very cautious because it was something to be concerned about. And at that time, we were all playing around with how is this going to impact. But even going beyond that, a lot of people have an STD and they don't tell you.
Oh,
So
yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, we're going to keep this real. You need to start looking at 30 days or having people. My rule is you got to go get some paperwork on it. Because this right here is the holy grails. This is the grails up in here. And I need it to be fresh. This need to stay fresh and all of that. I don't want no contaminants. So sometimes it is worth it. I don't know. To me, I think I'm worth the wait. If you now work like you though, but if you come back with some paperwork in a week though, it might be something else happening. Right? You know, we forget. I don't need to wait them 30 days if I'm feeling you. That paperwork might be right, you know. So there you go. So Brian, what's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on that 60, 90 days? Because it's a book out there telling women to hold on for the 60 to 90 days.
I mean, it doesn't guarantee the relationship is going to be long lasting. It doesn't guarantee it. I mean, if it happens within that 60 to 90 day rule, it can mess things up. I mean, you're developing a friendship, you're developing continuity, you find out who each other is, and it can really mess things up. I mean, you can find it could happen all of a sudden. I don't want to be with her. Well, it ain't worth it. That's happened to me. That's happened to me. And I'm like, man, what did I do that for? Damn, I shouldn't have done that. No. It can mess up things. It really can.
So you're saying that waiting. Okay, so Matt, what about you? Because you're in the business.
I'm in the business, and I will tell you that I don't believe these stories of 30, 60, and 90 days. Unfortunately or fortunately, I get a chance to talk to women every day, and they tell me what really is happening. They claim 30, 60, 90 for some men, and for other men, it's 6 hours, 2 hours.
Absolutely.
Put on this hearing.
Not even a day.
Like 6 hours.
Call it whatever you want, but they are not by themselves, and they won't admit to anyone else because the person that they're with is not quote unquote desirable. But they're trying to tell Warwick to wait 90 days, and he ain't gonna wait 90 days. So that's
Warwick said one day.
That's gonna determine where I take you out to eat. That's gonna determine where I take you out to eat. I'm telling you right now.
McDonald's.
Wait a minute. Okay, wait. So one of our viewers, Gerald, thank you so much for watching and joining us. Gerald says it's still real. Just because it's not talked about doesn't mean it goes away. Okay. So he was talking about COVID and people being tested.
So let me just be clear about the COVID thing, because I've had my Pfizer shots and all of that type of stuff.
Right.
And I have I know people who have been affected, sick, and died, and things of that nature. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if opportunity presents itself where somebody is wonderful and a match for you, and the opportunity or the possibility of something being beyond that, the fact that you won't engage with a person in face to face because you're afraid that somebody might breathe on you, then you are not ready, not only for a relationship,
ready to hit the streets.
You're not ready to go deal with life.
You're not, and people shouldn't be afraid. So Nicole did a shout out to you, Warwick. She said, did he say one day? One day before you trying to, that's not what you said, Warwick? Because Nicole's like, did he really say one day? So this is real, like, honestly, guys, real talk. So going back to what Galen said, you know, a lot of people, because of the online dating, which plays into what I'm going to ask you guys, and this is where I get a little bit concerned. This is not one of my questions, but it should have been one of my questions. With online dating, do you think that a person should wait? How long do you think you should wait before you meet the person you've been talking to via text? What is the turnaround time? Now, Warwick, I'm afraid to ask you first, but I'm gonna ask you first. So if you meet somebody online, how long before you think you should be seeing them on a video call and then transitioning that to, if you connect, to a physical date? How long?
I think it should be as soon as possible, because I talked to this girl one time, and she wasn't saying nothing. She was just waving. I was doing all the talking, and we met. You know, she would never say nothing. We've met. I said, "Hey," and she was. Like, we would have met the day of it. I would have known it wasn't the same way for me. She was wiping her mouth, blood was coming out and everything. I should meet as soon as possible.
Okay, listen. If you're just joining us, I want to say to you, Warwick is a comedian. He is a comedian in real life. Warwick is a comedian in real life. Don't take anything he says to heart. He's a comedian. It may be he's taking humor to this, because I don't want anybody to be offended. Warwick, I don't even know why I asked you first. Okay, so Galen, what are your thoughts around people meeting people online? Because I know a lot of people, they're text talking for like weeks, and they don't video talk, and then you go to video talk, and then this whole conversation. What do you think the transition should be before you go from texting to video talking to in person?
I think video should be almost immediately. It's with so much catfishing that's happening in the world, where people are, communicating with folks, and it's not really the person. So the transition from if you swiping what is left, right, I don't know whatever that is. Never done it, so I don't know what that looks like. And you decide this is a person you want to deal with. Once that initial reach out, then a person should set up a video conference. Now, once that happens, as Matt was talking about earlier, like, you got to know what you're dealing with, what you're doing. How long will it take you to do some research on this person? Do they have social media? Do you need to look up where do you live? Look up and see if they're on the sexual predator list. I'm not like joking.
Yeah.
Like,
no, you're right.
Yeah. You're meeting somebody online, you have no and I'm not just talking about online. If you don't have any connection to this person, and this is just a pure stranger, you owe it to yourself before you meet up with somebody to do your research on them. And then if you decide to go meet with them, whether it's a man or a woman, meaning, whatever your dynamics. So this would be just as true for a man as a woman. Let somebody know who you're going to meet and where you're going to meet them, when you're meeting them, where you're meeting them, why. So if anything goes awry, because here's the thing with guys, men can be, not besides danger, men can be accused of things that are not necessarily true. Yeah. And with ladies, obviously the I'm not present danger of other things could happen. So somebody should know what you're doing when you go do it.
I agree with that. And so Gerald chimed in. Gerald said, what's wrong with right away? Like, after you swipe, I need to be seeing you then after we done swiped. Let's do it. And I'm going to tell you, I'm that kind of person. I need to know that your pictures aren't fake. Like, I don't have time for that. I just need, because people can put those glamour shots out there and be, they'll put a picture on when his body was tight. like 10 years ago, then you look at them, you like, what is happening? This does not translate very well. It's a totally different person. Brian, what about you? You're out there dating. Are you doing online dating or anything?
I tried that. That junk don't work. I agree with what Warwick and Galen said. Hey, I remember this one girl. She I was doing the texting thing on the phone, and then I saw a picture online. All she had was a face up on it. I'm like, how come she don't want to show the rest of it?
That's dead giveaway.
And I was like, so I kind of was being a little naive. I was like, yeah, maybe it's okay. So I finally got her to meet me at a Starbucks. I'm meeting in a public place. I don't know who the heck this might be. He might be a damn dude. I'm gonna see it from a distance. And so she tells me what kind of car she's gonna be in, and I don't tell her what kind of car I'm gonna be in. So I see it from a distance. I'm like, oh my god! I was like, I ain't going that during Starbucks. I said, oh heck no. She looked. It was like with somebody else. I was like, who the heck? I ain't going. I left.
All right, so lady, I'm going to tell you the only dating app that I will be on is the dating app that's made by 5Fs to Love. When I launch it, it will be to promote the app to see what men would be interested in dating me. That's when I'm going to be on a dating app. It's going to be my dating app. That way guys can come through and meet me on my dating app. And when we get back, folks, we're going to talk about whether or not milking cows equals rings and equals long-term relationship. Remember what Brian said? He did try it. He was with somebody for that 60, 90-day thing, and he decided on peace out. So he invested the time and still after the fact, still left. We want to know why, though. Why are men walking out on women after you invest and give them all that you got? That's the question we'll ask when we get right back after these commercials.
We know what you made of. I do better offline, yeah. I've been calling to a guy. I'm in tune with the signs. I'm just trying to let go. I'm just trying to be me. I'm just trying to do fine. Moon landed with the elevation. Armstrong with the levitation. My third eye needed calibration. That was heat rock when I notated. I've been going crazy. Stone face when I kill beat. Leaving no trace on location. Premeditated, ayy.
Already hear the bells. I'm a victim of love, calling out to heaven above for yeah. I mean every little word. I can't get you out of my mind. Oh baby, every curve's like a new adventure, pulling me into the center closer. Yeah, baby, I'm not playing around. I mean every little word. I can't get you out of my mind. Oh baby, every curve's got me going crazy. Can't control it, cannot see it all.
Hey guys, welcome back to 5Fs to Love. I'm really, really excited because we get to answer some questions around the milk, the cow, the ring, the free, the waiting 60 to 90 days. And one of the things that a couple of my girlfriends have said over and over again, I don't understand. And this is like a true statement for them. They say, you know, what do you say to a woman when she says, I gave him everything he said he wanted, but he still left me? They get very confused because they feel like they're giving everything that they have to get the ring, but he still left. So Matt, you're shaking your head. So I feel like I need to start with you.
All right, listen, Christine, it's for the men's side. I'm not even going to speak to women or what she did or thought she did. But if for a man to want to marry you, science says he needs three things. He has to be willing, able, and have a track record for monogamy. If he don't got those three things, he not even capable of offering you a ring. He don't even know no one who's been married. He ain't been to. When's the last time you've been to a wedding? If he says I never been to one,
So Matt, you're telling me when I go out now, I need to ask people if I'm considering to be with this person, have you even been to a wedding? I need to ask that question.
To ask them, is weddings and monogamy a part of your lexicon? Is it part of the language that you're used to seeing? Because listen, the reality is when you look at statistics, a lot of people aren't even familiar with marriage. So now you're trying to ask somebody to do something that they're not used to. They may be more familiar with long-term partnerships, long-term relationships. You got to meet people where they at instead of trying to change.
I like that. And so, ladies, this is real talk. When I'm thinking about dating and stuff, I do call Matt first. That's my go-to guy because that's Matt's business. That's what he does. He does matchmaking for high-power women and men. He puts them together. And I ask him, you know, what are your thoughts about what I'm thinking? So, Warwick, we're not going to talk to you first because I know you're not going to act right. Okay, you're not. I'm going to Brian. Brian, what do you think about that? When women say that?
I can't think of old girl's name. We talked about it in one of the shows. She's living with that coach for the basketball for Boston Celtics.
Nia Long.
Nia Long. I read in a piece that she said she don't have to get married. That's not something she wants to do. And that, how can I put it? I can't think. I lost my train of thought. Come back to me. I had my train of thought on this. I lost it. Come back.
Okay, Galen.
Okay, two things. One, just to piggyback on Matt just for a second about the track record for monogamy. I have a relative that about 6 years ago showed up at a family gathering and said, "You know, I'm getting married now." Showed me his fiance's ring, and he was like a serial cheater. And before I realized it, I looked at her hand and I shouted, "Jesus is real," because I couldn't believe it. So, and a month later, he got rid of her. So,
Wow.
like literally. So Matt is on the money with that one. The second thing that I would say is this. I think this goes back to mindset. I believe most people are unaware of where they are mentally, emotionally, their paradigm. You know, that's my conversation. What's your paradigm? A woman can say, "I've given him everything," or "I gave him everything he wanted, but he still left me." That's from her perspective. That's not his perspective. And see, that's a strong assumption, because the assumption is, well, I gave him sex, or I gave him this, or I cleaned, or I cooked, or I whatever. Right. But here's the thing. When people stop and pay attention to the person they want to deal with, what they need is how they either communicate it verbally or through action. And when people are not paying attention and they're not self-aware and they don't have relationship awareness, is what I talked about yesterday, then they don't actually know what's needed in that relationship. So they're thinking, "I gave him everything and he left me." What I realized is that there are other factors. First of all, maybe you didn't give everything. 2, who said you needed to give him everything? 3, you might have some red flags that made him say, "I don't want to do this with you," even though you're jumping through the hoops on all this other stuff. That don't mean you're still not crazy. You still might have problems. You might have a relationship with your you might come with packages I don't want. You might have a man, like for instance, a man can watch your relationship with your children and realize, okay, I don't have a place here. I can't fit into this. I can't compete. You got unresolved stuff with baby daddy. It's all type of things that can stop a relationship. So a guy might say, "Let me jump in and see if this is worthy of my extra level of commitment." And then once he realizes that it's not there, he pulls back. Then it's I gave him everything conversation versus be more self-aware and stop making these assumptions. Because the thing about it is this: people love to scapegoat because they don't want to take responsibility for the choices they make and the consequences they create.
I just want to say, okay, folks, when you guys don't understand, outside of work, I actually talk to these guys about my real life stuff, and they give me real life. And when I'm going to tell you how many times Galen has said that statement to me, I can just frame it and just put it on. Because Galen, I'll ask him a question, he'll be like, so I just want to say it's real because it helps me reflect. And I'm not going to say I'm perfect. I've made some mistakes and they know it. They know my mistakes because I do real conversations. But what I'm going to say to you is really help me understand and learn from my mistakes. I don't blame other people because the common denominator in the decision making is always me. So I always look at me and not the other person. They're new to the set, right? So again, I'm going to use myself as an example, ladies. If you look at me on face value, car paid for, house paid for, I run my own business. My son does not live in my home. He's an adult. I call him man child because he's 20. He still needs me to rent a car for him, but he does not live here. He's responsible. He's in school and he works. So to a lot of people, oh, she's an awesome catch. She's great. But wait a minute. Let's go back to if I'm not the guy's type. Maybe he's looking for a slim goodie and I got some hips on me. So in my mind, this guy decides, okay, Chris is cool. Let me hang out with her. But he may not be viewing me as a person he wants to marry. He may be just like, I like hanging out with her. I have a good time when I'm with her. So I could be giving him the best that I got. I'm giving him the best that I got. You know, I'm doing the whole Anita Baker. But he may look back and be like, girl, that ain't the best because I wanted this. I'm giving him what I think the best is based on my perception of the best. It may not be his best. His best may be cooking, and y'all know I don't cook. Which, by the way, Brian, I'm gonna send you pictures. Honey, those stuffed clams came out so good, and it tastes so good. By the way, when you got good friends that know how to cook, and they can video talk you through cooking something, I'm trying. And by the way, I'm trying to brush up on my skills. I heard what Matt said. I need to be cooking something. Brian, thank you, honey. I'm gonna send the pictures to you. They came out great. The clams are good. They're so good. Okay, so Warwick, what's up? I'm afraid about what you're gonna say.
No, about commitment and stuff like that. I agree with him. You sometimes probably the kid or something like that make you not want to talk to somebody and stuff. Because I was dating this girl and I went to her house. As soon as I sat on the couch, her child come, he jumps in my lap. Now he still started crawling all over me. He's crawling all under my neck, all over me. He just crawling all over me. Now I didn't want to be rude to her. I didn't want to be rude to her. But I'm sneaking little shots trying to get them off me. You know, she just sitting there. You know, and she just sitting there. And I didn't say it with my mouth, but I said it with my eyes. You know, I said, you better get this boy. You know, she saw what I was saying. She said, he just want to play with you. I said, I understand that, but this shit got to stop. He's 16.
I need you to understand. You're making it hard for me to manage the show tonight. He's like, he was 15. Okay, so guys, listen, this is like for real because I think women need to understand this. When you go into a relationship, and I want each of you guys to kind of go through, and this is the whole thing. I want you to give a scenario where the woman gives up the milk, whatever that looks like to you, and the man still sees her as a potential long-term partner. Because that's what women, they want to know, if I'm doing this and I'm doing that, when does a man see me still as a potential partner? And when don't they see me as a potential partner? Right? So I think it was Brian who said I was with somebody for a length of time, but I still walked away. And there's a reason why the man walked away. And Galen, you hit on it. You with somebody and then they come up with some crazy on you. You like, well, okay, this was going good, but you didn't did a crazy. The thing is, the woman has forgotten about the crazy. She ain't thought she ain't been up on that crazy. Okay, so Gerald is laughing at us because he's crying and laughing because you are crazy, Warwick. Okay, you're just crazy. Nicole said she didn't put in a whole thesis over here. She said, my problem is like I like to hang out for a while to form a friendship. The out of nowhere, I get a proposal or a request for a serious commitment. Matt, what's up with that? What am I doing wrong?
Did I read this correctly? Okay, all right. And you probably will disagree with me on this, but there are very few women that men want to be friends with, and there are very few men that women just want to be friends with. So I think Galen said it earlier. you need to have good emotional intelligence and say, does this person want to be my friend or do they want a relationship? If they want a relationship and you try to put them in a friend zone, it's always going to be problems. How do you know if he wants to be your friend or if he wants a relationship? Go to his social media. If every woman that he's dated looks like you, he don't want to be your friend. If you look like the women, so if you like thick and then you're thin, then maybe he wants to be your friend. But if you look just like his mama, his sisters, and every woman he's dated, he doesn't want to be your friend. And odds are, if you over the age of 12, the man does not want to be your friend. You might.
Okay, but wait for that. Okay, so wait a minute, Galen. I'm going to tell you right now. Well, every woman who's around me wants to know, why do I have so many male friends? It blows their mind because I have more male friends than female friends. And Matt, what did you say to me the other day about the transition? What did you say?
Hey, listen. Listen. You know what? We have so many conversations. I'm not even gonna put this on the air. You tell them. I'm not gonna put your business.
You know, Matt said, Christine, you know, you do have a lot of male friends. He said, how do you transition? Have you ever been interested in any of these people you made your friends? I said, no. He said, but it's got to be a hard transition to transition them back to a potential person you want to date. And I'm going to say to you, ladies, I love the fact that the guys that I know, and all of them, I have not had any type of intimate relationships with. These are truly my friends, and I can call them and talk to them about anything. But what I want you to understand is what he just said. I identified them as being a friend. They identified me as being a friend. So it wasn't a conflict. Some of y'all are going in on friend and they want more than friend. And some of y'all, they looking at you as a friend and you want more than a friend. That's where the conflict is. I think because when we all met, I knew when I saw Galen, I went to Galen like it was business. We formed a friendship out of business because I came to him on business. Matt, when I saw Matt, it was like Matt came to me like, I like your ideas. You smart. Let me see what I can do to help you. And we formed a friendship. Brian came on. And then I ended up talking to Brian literally every day. We started doing prayer together. So when I say to you, I don't know what happens. But, you know, when I ran into DTE, though, I did say to him, I'm going to need you to walk me to my car. I wasn't looking at him as no friend. I was hoping he would walk me to my car. So there's a difference. Okay, so Galen, what were you going to say?
Just dealing with the young lady's question to Matt, just to piggyback on what Matt said. I think also one of the things that guys are very aware of is that there's some women who want to be around masculine energy without sexual intimacy. And that might be the question. Like, what is it that you're really seeking? Are you really seeking to date? Do you really want to be around male energy? Do you want, are you missing sexual intimacy? Like, what is it that you're really seeking? Because a guy can get friend zoned because this lady just wants to be around the male energy. And it needs to be clear. But if a guy does the switch on, okay, this is just somebody that hangs out, and this is not a person that's an option, any smart man is going to transition. I often tell people this, and again, this is Galen talking, not Reverend Galen talking. If you're interested in a lady and she's friend zoning you or not interested in you at that level, you need to pull your time, energy, and attention away from her. Not to zero, but you're giving her all of this male energy.
Yeah.
And you'll get no reciprocity. So it's necessary to pull it back, because you can be giving that male energy to someone who is interested in you. So these guys that, you know, hang out with women that they don't date, don't talk to, all this type of stuff, but they're interested in the woman.
Right.
Are playing Russian roulette with their feelings.
Oh, I like that. So ladies, don't play Russian roulette. Ward, I'm afraid. What you gonna say?
No, on a serious note though, I don't think that no guy meets a woman and say, I would love to be friends with her. I don't. Listen, they co-workers, they've been working together and, you know, stuff like that. But a guy meet a woman, he's not saying, oh, I would love to be friends with her. No, that transition now may take place because, you know, she's pretty cool. You know, I don't want to mess this up and stuff like that. But when a man first meets a woman, it's not no friend. I don't know no guy that met a woman saying, "Oh, I would love to be her friend." No. Now it may happen at conversations and stuff like that, but nah.
Okay, so I'm gonna real quick, Ryan, before I get your response, because I'm overloaded with viewers' responses. Gerald said, "Good one, Matt." Anissa said, "Matt is dropping jewels tonight. Men certainly have a type." Nicole said, "Matt, I look far different from women. Some men have dated and they end up wanting a commitment." Nicole, you just got that charisma going on. That just makes you hot like fire. She said, "I got your point, thankfully." She said, "I finally read. I'm finally ready to date." And just to let you know, she call you. Matt say, "Call him. He gonna fix you up. He's gonna fix you with a high powered man. You got to be ready though, Nick. And by the way, his services are not free. It ain't free. It ain't free, Nick. So if you want him to match you up with somebody, you're gonna have to hook that up." So, Brian, what's your thought around that?
I believe what Warwick said and the rest of them. I ain't never known a man that met a woman saying, "I want to be your friend." Heck, I ain't never said that. I may have thought in my mind when I was very immature in my mind, like, "Hey, I may play that game and be a friend, but what I really want ain't to be her friend. Let me just hang around for a little while." But no, that ain't the case. And another thing, Christine, back to earlier.
Right.
You said a woman gives everything. What's everything? What is everything? I mean, that's what I said. What the heck is everything? Like Galen said, she may have a bunch of everything as in crazy, and that's what happened to me. She said, "Hey, I'm giving everything." She gave me a bunch of crazy. I mean, want to take a brother out, and then when I said, "Okay, the boys' tables," I was gone. I mean, so what is everything? They can give you all their craziness, their foolishness, their drama. I mean, you was talking about that. What was somebody that kid was jumping on? This kid was talking junk to me. Her son was talking junk to me, cussing at me, all kinds of. I'm like, wait a minute, I ain't signed for this. I ain't seen none of this at the very beginning. But if it ain't the person you're supposed to be with, don't waste your time. Like I said, they want to play that, do the texting and not show it. Meet them immediately. Find out who it is.
I just want to say that's my baby right there, Brian. For y'all to get Brian Ward, I just want to say, Gerald, thank you so much. He said that was fact, Warwick. And Brian, Nicole sent you some smiles. She's cracking up laughing at you. I just want to say you guys are hilarious. What were you going to say, Galen?
I think the main thing that people don't like is one basic thing. All wise people get out of something that's problematic really quickly. And a person does not necessarily, if they say, "Look, I don't want to do this anymore," that's all that's necessary. Well, explain to me. Well, what? Because people want to linger in silliness.
Right.
When you know something doesn't work, get out fast. Okay, it's Angela Maya, or what was her name? Maya Angelou used to say,
Maya Angelou.
If a person shows you who they are, believe them the first time.
Ladies, I'm going to tell you right now, you better listen. After this commercial break, we'll come back and close out the show. And each man is going to tell you what you need to do to get that milk away, get that ring, and close the deal, honey. It's all about contracts. We'll be right back after this commercial.
Working on our body language, working on our body language. Baby, now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean. You mean everything to me. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. I don't want no excuses. You keep me feeling so clueless. I'd like to dream. Keep on dreaming about us, baby. Yeah. Now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside. Love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean. You mean everything to me. Let me love you on the inside. Love you on the
inside. All I gotta say is women just want to love men on the inside. Okay, that's the joke. So listen, this is real conversation. I want to, and I'm going to talk to each one of you one-on-one. Warwick, you're last. I just want to be clear. Normally I do Galen last, but I know you're going to say something and ain't nobody else going to be able to keep their thoughts. So we're going to keep it real. I'm not going to fool with you. You're last. Not because you're just joining us, because I know what you're going to say. All right. So I'm going to start off with you, Brian. So Brian, I'm talking to you. So what do you want to say to women regarding the notion of the giving away of the milk versus getting the ring? What do you want to say to women?
I mean, don't be quick to give it up. I mean, my philosophy is this. I mean, if something's worth having, it's worth working for. It's really worth working for. I mean, I'm the kind of guy, make me work for it. That keeps me coming after you. If you're going to come and give it to me easy, I mean, you give it to somebody just as easy. And that'll make me go the opposite way quick. I've done it many times. I mean, I'm a hunter. A man is a genuine hunter, natural born hunter. Make us hunt. Make us chase you. I mean, some men may not want to put in the work, but hard work don't hurt nobody. If a man who don't want to work, don't want to eat. A man who don't want to chase, don't want to catch. I want to catch. Make him work for it. And you're going to find out when you make him work for it, if he's really worth hanging around or not. If he hauls butt after the first pass, that tells you he wasn't about worth anything in the first place. He wasn't worth his salt. Let him go.
I like that, Brian. Okay, so Matt, what are your thoughts behind that? What do you want to say to the women?
So why is it that some women have no shortage of proposals, have no shortage of marriage offers, and then others never get asked to be somebody's wife? They never get asked to be married. I can tell you this, it's not how they look. It's not their degrees. Black women have more degrees than any group of people on the planet.
Sure do.
It's how nice they are. It's none of that. It is some people are whole and some people are not. And if you're not whole, people can sense it. It's like having the white mouth. They can tell you're hungry, and it's not attractive. So what I would tell them, the time frame, it matters. But what really matters is how whole you are. Because there are some married women who've given it up on the first day and still got married. So that's not necessarily accurate. It's about wholeness. Are you psychologically, financially, prayerfully, and physically ready? And if you have all those things, the time matters, but not as much as people think. So bring your whole self and you will get married.
I love that.
You ain't gonna
bring your whole self. Okay, so Warwick.
I agree with the fellows and stuff like that, but I think that women should just try to. I'm trying to be serious here, not joking around. So everybody knows.
Just be yourself. You don't have to be serious.
But a woman, she should understand. When you know, you know. All right. So come with that. Be friends first. I would say be friends first, then move on to that. When you know, you know, and you gotta know when to get out too. Because I tell all women that it's easier to cry one time than 1,000 times. So if something's not good, just get out of it. So.
Look at you dropping the jewel. After your little first day, she better be giving it up or she ain't get no dinner. You know what? Warwick, you surprised me. Okay, wait a minute. All right, so of course, we always allow you, Galen, to be the voice of reason.
I'm the voice of reason now. So in Christian metaphysics, there's a term called the vacuum law of prosperity.
Okay.
And what that means is creating the space for what it is that you say you want. So just
Okay.
as the gentleman before me just said, getting out of the bad situation, getting out of the bad circumstance, that's an outward action.
Mhm.
That's preparing, because the right person can't come while you're occupied mentally and emotionally with the wrong person. 2, making sure that you're clearing your space and your own mentality for what it is that you say you desire. In other words, have you done your own forgiveness work, your own release work? Are you centered and functioning from your whole spiritual and authentic self, not from a standpoint of need or greediness, where you want it so badly you're actually pushing it away? Because this is why in metaphysics we tell people to affirm I am, not I want or I will be, because it always has to be present tense. So if you're in the space of not creating the space internally and externally for what you want, you're always going to be in a situation where you're going to be a problem. And the last 2 things I would say would be simply this. The other one would be have a level of self-awareness. Recognize your actions and how you show up in your space. A lot of people are not paying attention to how they show up in the space, and they're doing things, saying things, or acting, or not doing things that create the situation of a man not wanting to make that extra level of commitment. And finally, go back and find my the meta behind relationships and listen to I Meet No One But Me. That's the 2nd episode. I Meet No One But Me. And then find out about yourself.
Yes.
And then after that, listen to the relationship thing where it says understanding your partner's relationship paradigm. It'll help you a lot. So go find on this 5Fs for Love platform my podcast where I talk about these subjects in greater detail. And
So
I'm just telling you, it was some gems dropped, and if you can get
really
what I'm
was.
saying on those shows, it will help you develop self-awareness, and it will help you develop relationship awareness.
I love it. And I'm going to say thank you to all of you guys. Ladies, they drop these gems on me all the time. Warwick, I'm going to tell you right now, you're welcome to come back anytime. Honestly, I've never laughed so much. You're hilarious. You're welcome to come back anytime. I love your perspective. And I think in everyone's perspective on the show is through different lenses, but it's always a common term or common understanding behind that. Ladies, I'm going to tell you, it's hard to have that male energy around me, but I appreciate it. I respect it. I listen to them, even when they don't think I'm listening. Matt with the cooking, Brian helped me. What about it? And the thing is that, Galen keeps me focused on, am I being true to myself and what I really want? Because what you project is so important, because that's what you're bringing back to you. So when he talks about those I am statements, that's what we're taught in Unity. You create your I am statements. And I read them every morning about who I am is what I want. It says, I am going to be, or I am a. You get what I'm saying? And those are the things that you got to understand. You have to start believing in yourself and center yourself in what you want, and you will attract that. So the only thing I can say to you guys, I must be pretty hot if I'm meeting no one but me, because I'm meeting some pretty hot guys. So that's all I got to say. And I'm being honest. I use everything everybody tells me. On days when I'm not 100%, Brian will tell you, we prayed some days, and it'd be twice a day I need prayer hour, and I felt like, I was in the middle, you're Catholic, you go inside the little thing, you pull the curtain back, and then you're talking to the priest. I treated Brian like that because I needed to talk and I needed his honest opinion. And it's so important you have that feedback. So let me tell you something, ladies. If you're looking for something important, you got to listen to these podcasts. When the men talk, they're telling you the truth. Not what you think you want to hear, but what the truth is. So replay this, share it, like it, follow it. Please do, because this is the truth. I'm not paying them to be here. These are my friends. And Warwick is just being added because Warwick can make me laugh. Warwick, I kid you not, I will get on a plane to come see you. Okay? I will get on a plane. I'm gonna come to Atlanta just to see you.
Hey,
Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. My name is Warwick Ray. That's WARRICK _Ray. RAY. I did say RR.
All right, you guys hear that? Make sure you follow on social media. I'm telling you, I will be following you on social media. What were you going to say, Brian?
Hey, I'm still visualizing that kid crawling over Warwick, and he said, this kid is 16.
with you guys tonight. Before we go, guys, what would you tell a man right now? And I'll start off with you, Warwick, about getting checked out for prostate cancer. What are you going to say? Because this is your fellows out there.
Oh yes, it's on a serious note. You got to get it checked out. You got to get it checked out. But you know me, I'm kind of scared of it because I don't know, it's a button back there they probably press or something. So, but no, but serious, go get checked out. You have to go get it checked out. Matt.
You're muted, Matt.
Matt, you're muted. You're muted. There you go. No, you're still muted. There you go, Matt.
So, even if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for those who love you. As Black men, our schedules are busy. You may not, no one looks, I don't know. I don't look forward to it, but it's something you got to do. So even if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for those who love you. So go get yourself checked out.
Bryant?
Hey, no shame in your game. Buckle and take that finger. Just make sure it's a woman with some small hands, but get it done. Hey, if it's a big old burly man with big hands, yo, dude, send somebody else in here to do this thing. Yeah, get it done.
Yeah. Brian must have had Shaquille O'Neal coming into the doctor's office.
That doctor walked in there.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'm gonna do it. I'm like, huh? I look at the hand. I'm like, oh man, you just somebody with smaller hands, bro. You better hurt a brother.
Like Andre the Giant. But.
You know what, Brian? I just want you to be serious. Okay, Galen, what about you?
What I would say is all guys should minimally go to the doctor once a year for a checkup. Get all the tests that they need to have, not just prostate. Get your blood work, get your urine work, because what they catch early can be addressed. And if you're a spiritual person like me who likes to not only understand it from a medical standpoint, but from the spiritual standpoint, you can merge it because you can put your intention on what needs to be addressed.
Yeah. I love that. I want to say thank you guys for joining me for another Thursday with Real Talk with the Men on 5F's to Love. Be sure to like, share, and follow us, and be able to follow us on all of our social media sites. We'll see you guys back next week, and I'm going to tell you it's going to be another hot topic. You are not going to believe this. See you guys next week.
We know what you made of. I do better offline, yeah. I've been calling to a guy. I'm in tune with the signs. I'm just trying to let go. I'm just trying to be me. I'm just trying to do fine. Moon landed with the elevation. Armstrong with the levitation. My third eye needed calibration. I was heat rock when I notated. I've been going crazy. Stone face when I kill beat. Leaving no trace on location. Premeditated. Ayy.